It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's your Feel-Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso. We're live in S3, and this is an opportunity for us to get the tech out there on a Tech Thursday and onto some interesting tech news. So, big news from authorities across the globe. An FBI global sting operation has led to the arrest of over 800 persons connected to the drug underworld, and this after crime gangs were sold encrypted phones that law enforcement officials could monitor.
Sneaky.
It's very sneaky, and there's one person that knows all about the tech behind that. Hinds, welcome, my friend.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Always good to connect with you, my friend, even if it is remotely using your amazing tech at home. But this is a really interesting story and a kind of sign of the times. Give us more of the backstory here. How did the governments achieve this massive feat?
Well, it was actually quite an ingenious thing. It started with the Australian police. It was an idea that they had in 2018. And I don't think they realized how big this sting was actually going to get. So they created they hacked these phones and got they found the person that supplied all the hacked phones or all the phones for the private drug sector to use, and started seeding phones that they had access to, essentially, with their own firmware on it. And then the phones became so popular in the drug world that it just spread all around the world. And 800 people have been arrested worldwide, which is pretty wild. As well as obviously like millions of dollars worth of cash and drugs and stuff. And without them, 8 tons of cocaine, or without them even having to necessarily lift a finger, all they needed to do was monitor. And it was such a genius way to use existing technology, to do some good. It was called Operation Greenlight or Operation Trojan Shield, if you guys want to find out more about it. But it leads to a lot of questions. Obviously, the government did this, and obviously it was for a good thing, but can governments do this all the time to us?
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't think it's possible to do this at the scale to the public, because you'd have to basically hack every phone, hardware hack every phone. Here's the big difference: is that it's not something that you would just install an app on someone's phone. It's literally the whole phone's been hardware hacked. So unless the government took your phone away for a week, or kitted it out before it was given to you, there's no ways that there's a way to hack that. So we're pretty good when it comes to that. It's not going to necessarily happen to us.
You don't sound so sure, though. You don't sound so sure, man. I'm a little bit nervous. Are we
look. Our phones are collecting data from us all the time.
Yeah.
And the service providers on the phone adhere to a privacy policy. So we, as a government, as a country, we've got to be clever and smart about what we tell our government is important to us, for us to keep private. Privacy is a big deal for us, but if they want access to the stuff that our devices are finding out about us, they could get it legislatively, but they can't get it without any legislation, but we would know about that. So that's why there are some countries where for instance, in China, where that legislation is commonly open. The government has access to those devices, and other countries like the US, where tech companies are now starting to slow down. Even Google has started stopping cookies. I don't know if you know what cookies are.
Yeah.
Cookies are ways that you are tracked around the internet so that people could sell you something. So when you go search for something to buy, and then you go to Facebook and you see an ad for it, a cookie tracked you there. That's how it appeared there. It's not like the spooky
It's not magic.
conspiracy. It's literally tracked you to that specific spot. So if Google are getting rid of that because that's the demand, we've got to start obviously changing the way we do our businesses. But also we've got to be, as customers, very careful about what we do with our data and what our government enforces for us legally about our data.
Are we likely to see this kind of tech, going back to kind of the law enforcement angle there, used here in South Africa? Now that we've got such a successful working model, and we know that South Africa sits on a drug trade route, are we likely to see this kind of tech permeate into our law enforcement?
Look, I think it would be smart if our law enforcement did something like this. I don't know exactly if it's possible here. We've got different kinds of crime in South Africa, and the different kinds of crime syndicates. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is the solution to our problem, but obviously that's up to the Hawks and SAPs to work out. but like I'm not smart with that. I don't know. Maybe criminals here use smoke signals. I don't know. But you can't
Pigeons.
hack a
They
smoke
use
signal.
pigeons.
So I'm not sure if this is going to work here. When it comes to software tracking, maybe that is a solution. But again, it means that the whole country is going to be listened to, and I don't think that's going to happen because there are other parts of the population that also don't want to be listened, that aren't doing anything illegal, and we do like our privacy.
Yeah.
But that's what Fika is, or when you rekey your phone, we know what the activity of where that SIM card has gone, because that's why when you get a new cell phone contract, you rekey it. So our government has been proactive in ways that do emphasize privacy, which is really cool, and they also are doing it from a hardware level so they can track where a phone comes from.
Awesome, dude.
Wow. Grant, thank you so much, man, for a bit of background on that. It does still bring a bit of anxiety
I'm
to go to
nervous
tech.
now. I'm nervous. I won't lie.
But yeah,
Just don't leave your phone alone with the government for like a few days.
there we go. That's
Easy.
I think that's the key right there. Thanks a lot, Grant. And I mean, this is what we have a Tech Thursday in that way. So more Tech Thursday stuff coming up, but I feel like it's good to go from spying on phones to pieing in the kitchen. Here's Jamie Lee.
Get a bit of pie in the face
Thank
there.
you.